Do you think they're fucking with us? I mean, there's a good chance they are. There's a good chance they're fucking feeding from your emotions. We've seen it happen. Little tricks of the trade in the entertainment. Now, I just watched all 5 episodes of Season 4, Part 2 of Outer Banks. Welcome back to the channel here at Jacobite Games. What an absolute emotional roller coaster. The intensity of these last 5 episodes was so damn stressful. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. There were moments I was cheering them on. There were moments where I was just absolutely scared for each and every one of them. It was nerve-wracking. But this season, some big fucking shit happened, man. Some big shit happened, and then, man, we got to talk about it. Now, let's start off with some of the choices that this season made. I'm going to tell you right now, in big, bold letters right here, spoilers alert. I'm warning you. If you haven't seen it, don't watch this yet. But make sure you hit that like, hit that sub, and that bell to notify you for more videos so we can talk about it when you do watch it. Because that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. I'm not bringing you anything that nobody else is bringing you. I'm here to fucking talk about the things that I love, and hopefully you love them too. And if not, maybe we can convince each other to check out the things that we love. But starting right now, spoilers ahead. Now, some of the choices that this show has made has gotten, let's say, OBX fans absolutely disgruntled. That's the word, right? Yeah, I think so. Well, we'll look it up. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. I was just on Twitter just before, or just, well, oh my God. Okay. Story time. And this kind of sucks. And this, I hate social media for this because I was at work. I didn't get to finish the whole show. I watched the first 3 episodes and then I had to go to work. And while I was at work, I was just scrolling through social media and it seemed like everybody had been watching it a lot faster than I could. So I saw a bunch of people's names saying F OBX, F Netflix, F all this shit. And I'm like, oh no, what is happening? And then it only takes 2 letters to start getting worried. JJ. And I'm like, no. So I hopped straight off of social media. As soon as I got home, I binge watched the last 3 episodes. Now, I was hoping that maybe people were kind of posting ahead of time before they were finished and be like, oh no, we're so scared that JJ and all this stuff. But so I was on the edge of my seat this whole time. Every episode, every minute, every second, I was just like, oh my God, when's this going to happen? If it's going to happen, when's this going to happen? If it's going to happen. Guys, they did it. They finally did it. They killed off our boy JJ. This is not to say that at some point or another, we had in our minds that, you know, somebody's gonna have to die at some point. Now, it's okay if none of them died. It's totally cool. It's totally fine if none of them died. I would have been totally fine with that. I mean, a lot of what happens in this show is a little far-fetched anyways, right? And which I will talk about soon, but there's some theories. There's some theories that might be in JJ's benefit if we're going completely unrealistic. All right? I mean, we're basing a lot of this off of lores of mystery type treasures, right? Some that might connect with some sort of phenomenon, right? So there could be some benefits here. So we'll talk about that in a bit. I would have been totally fine if everybody lived. You know, everybody lived, everybody succeeded, everybody completed the whole show, 5 seasons in, and everyone's still alive and happily ever after. Totally fine with that. And I'm sure that's kind of what everybody initially kind of wanted once this all happened, or at least imagined it at some point that this might be what they want from this show. Just a happily ever after with the Pogues, which is, again, 100% totally fine. But at some point or another, you know, I'm sure we all thought somebody's going to have to get the kick here. I mean, the amount of crazy ass shit that they do, that 1 out of a million people don't do this on a regular day basis. No way. There's no way. I mean, maybe I'm a little too sheltered to maybe they are 1 out of a million people doing expeditions and treasure hunting, and jumping from country to country to fight bad guys. I doubt it, but I mean, well, who knows? Who knows what's going on? Somebody's got to get the kick out of this all dangerous adventures they're having. No? Is that an odd question? Is that an odd statement? Is that a weird thing to say? I don't know. But there's a 50-50 chance, right? And it was JJ. Now, tell me in the comments if you had somebody else in mind that you thought maybe should have got the kick instead. I mean, there's John B., there's Sarah, there's Kiara, Leo, there's Pope, there's Rafe. Is there somebody else in mind that you thought should have got it instead? Now, from what I'm hearing over social media is that there's some backstage drama. Now, I'm not People Magazine. I'm not fucking TMZ. I'm not any of this, guys. I'm not. I'm here to review a TV show that I absolutely adore and love and will rewatch for the rest of time. Anyways, this is supposed to be a review. All I'm saying is they fucking did it. Now, does this end OBX for you? Because I've seen it be thrown out everywhere that this is the end of OBX. Come on, fans of OBX. That's not true. And maybe you're just grieving. Maybe you're just grieving, and I'll give you that. I'll let you have that time. It's an emotional time. But OBX is not over. Not by a long shot. Just because JJ's gone does not mean that it is over, all right? Little pep talk for Season 5. Guys, we've gotten this far. We have to pull through. We have to stick together and move forward for baby JJ. Yes, Sarah Cameron, or Sarah Rutledge, is pregnant. We saw that scene where JJ was foreshadowing baby, but he did say, you know what's a good name for a baby? A John B. and Sarah kid? JJ. And you know what? That's probably what they're going to do. And I'm okay with that. We got to get through this for baby JJ, guys. So stand with me and let's fucking push to Season 5 for baby JJ, because if baby JJ has any scenes whatsoever, probably not. He might be like, he or she, actually, you just never, we don't know. Maybe, I could probably see it maybe in the last episode. The last episode, it kind of skips a couple years and then, you know, they have the baby and whatever. But that was super exciting. And I kind of saw it happening. I kind of saw it coming. You know what I mean? I'm super stoked, though. I mean, John B is going to be a great dad. He's not going to be his dad. And I know we talked about it in the last video, but he's not going to be his dad. John B is going to be a great dad as long as the treasure hunting stops. I will say, and I think anybody else could realize this too, is that they can't raise a baby on the run. They can't raise a baby fighting bad guys. I mean, maybe we've seen it in other things, but come on, these guys are just kids. They're like, what's their age? 19 maybe? They can't. No, it's not going to work. Sarah, John B, and the rest of the Pogues, after this, they need to sit, chill, relax, pick their feet up, and enjoy life. That's my hopes and wishes for them. Speaking of wishes, what do you guys think for theories? Do you think JJ's really gone? Yes. It looks like, as the actor explained, he's dead. You know what I mean? But do you think they're fucking with us? I mean, there's a good chance they are. There's a good chance they're fucking feeding from your emotions. We've seen it happen. Little tricks of the trade in the entertainment.
Do not take me for some conjurer of cheap tricks.
That crown. There was a whole scene right here of Kiara and JJ talking about wishes. And that crown supposedly comes with a wish. Now, we all saw JJ grab that crown from the statue in that sandstorm. That's dangerous as shit, man. But hell, he did it. He did it. He was holding that crown. He was holding it up. He almost put it on. I mean, he touched that thing. You know what I mean? I don't know how the wish can work. I don't know how the wish happens. I don't know, where or when the wish can occur. But maybe there was a wish. Another theory is, and we'll talk about this guy here, Chandler Groff. Man, we're coming for you, buddy. The Pogues are coming for you for sweet, sweet revenge, man. This guy, just when you think that Ward Cameron was the biggest villain out of this whole series, they give us Chandler Groff. This guy puts it to the next level as a villain. Now, you can love to hate him, but as a character, this guy is doing his job as the next level evil boss. He's doing his job, and it's crazy because I hate this character so damn much. But as a wrestling fan, the job of a heel and the job of a face, right? And if that heel can pull off being the most hated bad guy in the eyes of the fans, then he's doing his job. Screw that mother, because this is all, it's all his fault. This guy, dude. There is a theory that, there was a scene that he was running away with the crown and it looked like regret. Now this guy's got some sort of bipolar emotions, man, like 100% batshit fucking crazy. You can tell. But there was that scene where he's standing there with the crown and he looks like he regrets what he did. And maybe with JJ's blood on that crown, from what you can see, he's still holding that knife with the blood on his hand. Even if it gets on the crown, maybe that's something that kicks the wish in? I don't know. This could be all completely far-fetched. This is not to say that we haven't seen this in other shows before, but is it an Outer Banks style? Yes and no. We've seen people come back to life thinking they're dead. Now, let's check out the scene where the Pogues are burying JJ in Morocco. And I've seen people say this is disrespectful to JJ's character being buried in Morocco. But I mean, what did you expect him to do? What do you want him to do? You can't bring him back to Poguelandia. How do you do that? How do you bring a dead body over to Poguelandia after the long ass travel from Carolina? When it comes to, their journey still needs to continue. They still need to go get that crown if that's still the main focus, right? And the main focus is to get Poguelandia back, right? And without that money, they won't have a Poguelandia. They won't have a home to go back to. And I think that JJ, this is what JJ would want. And that's kind of what we see at the end. The final scene of part 2 was they're all pissed off. Rafe was saying that, if they killed my friend, I'd be going after him right now. And they kind of all agree. It's time for some revenge. And that's good. That's good. That's exactly what they need to do. I'm down for it. It's time to get even. Time to get even. And that sweet revenge. Kiara at the end there with her face, she knows she's serious. I mean, they all just were crying their eyes out. Man, it's a hard moment for the Pogues. They also need Chandler Groff. They need to somehow bring him back to OBX for Shoop. Even Shoop's got everything on the line. You know what I mean? There's so many ties to completing this mission. It's kind of the only thing they need to do right now, which is all leading up to season 5. Season 5 is a complete continuation. There's not like other seasons that we've seen them go back to OBX, they get to chill for a bit, nothing happens. You know what I mean? They get introduced to their next mission. No, this one, part 1 was a big introduction to part 2, jumping right into it. You know what I mean? And then season 4, continuation to season 5. I think it's going to be completely, I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked. And now, I'm not one to ever really speak ill of anything. I mean, if I see a show or a movie that I didn't like, I'm really not going to make content on it. So when it comes to this show, sure, there's a few things that, could be critiqued. I try not to. I find it very hard to, or else I start to really let that linger and it kind of bothers me. And then it manifests into something bigger. And I just don't put that much thought into what's bad with this show at all. I'm good with it. If you're good with it, then we're both good with it. That's totally cool and we're good with it. I'm not watching this for realism. I'm not. I mean, I live a normal life here. I got kids, I got a family, I got a job, I come home, I make content. When I think about, treasure hunting and fighting bad guys, crazy shenanigans they get up to, that's so foreign to me. I mean, I wish I could. That sounds fun as hell. Well, yeah, this is not the end. A few of my favorite scenes, like we got to talk about some of these scenes here because some of these scenes are so good. Like the whole JJ riot scene downtown on the strip, that was one of the most badass scenes I've seen in OBX so far. Absolute, like I had Joker vibes, like Heath Ledger Joker vibes, just walking down the street, absolutely creating chaos, lighting fires, bashing windows in with a bat, just completely looking unhinged to the max. Badass fucking scene. That whole scene at the end, you know, the whole Morocco sandstorm, fighting bad guys, getting to the statue, getting that crown, Pope killing for the first time. It was absolutely crazy. And in that moment, I think Rafe became one of the most badass fucking characters. As much wrong he has done in this show to the Pogues, this, I feel, is his redemption arc. Should Rafe become the next James Bond? I'm one vote for Rafe becoming James Bond, because him putting on those goggles in the sandstorm and kicking ass, he kicked ass. And him and Madeline Klein, Sarah Cameron, getting together at that one moment and hugging and reconciling, probably the second time I cried in this part 2. Also him kicking Chandler Groff into the well. I mean, there was just so many instances where you're like, yeah, Rafe, let's go, dude. Like, fuck yeah, man. Leave that motherfucker in the goddamn hole. Somehow he's a cockroach, man. He's a cockroach. You know how much he's gotten through? You know how much he's unscathed death and being caught? I mean, he got the Pogues to trust him somehow. He was the schemiest looking motherfucker they've chose. The mustache, the slick hair, his Weasley characteristics. I mean, you knew this guy was slimy from the fucking beginning, and somehow he got people to trust him. Look, JJ got the shit end of the stick, except for Kiara. That was the best thing that happened to him in this show. You know, I thought maybe JJ was going to hit the Goat Island, is that what they call it? Is it Goat Island? I think so. I thought maybe he was going to inherit this whole thing. I mean, I thought he was going to get the money. He was going to get rich. His family left him all this, right? And he had nothing, and maybe ending he had everything. You know what I mean? And see, and I just thought of that. He did say that. He did say that at the end. I got everything I wanted. I watched it last night. I took the day to just kind of think and feel and kind of let it soak in a little bit before I made any content on it. This was a great season, regardless of what some would say has ruined the show. I don't think so. Like I said, we got to push through for baby JJ, man. Baby JJ. Yo, and another scene is when Sarah was on the ship and they were in that big storm and she falls off the boat. Man, I was so stressed. I was so stressed because, you know, in the trailer, you hear John B going, Sarah. And, you know, if in my other video, you can see me reacting to the trailer going, no, 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 no. Nothing can happen to Sarah. No way, you can't do that to us. And when I saw John B on that ship, and I was like, yo, John B isn't the one with the baby. At least Sarah had the baby of John B. You know what I mean? We could live out John B's life through his child. But no. Sarah's off the boat and she's drowning. And JJ, out of nowhere, this fucking pulls out. The guy's drunk as shit, dude. Okay, maybe he's not, because he's just like, enough with this shit. And becomes heroic as fuck. JJ's amazing, isn't he? I think you all can agree. JJ's amazing. He's like Godfather mode intact. But like, they weren't showing up till the morning, and they saw them walking down the beach, and it was like, oh my god, they're both alive. Another instance of how stressed this season was. Now, I'm sure there's tons more to talk about, but this is getting into a long video, and I could talk about OBX for so long, I lose time. But let me know in the comments what you guys think of this part 2 of season 4. I know a lot of you might be traumatized. Maybe you're still excited for season 5, or maybe you're actually completely done with this show and never going to watch it again. Let me know. Let's talk about it. But tell me your theories. Tell me what your thoughts are going into season 5, what you think season 5 is going to entail. I'm all here for it. But anyways, guys, if you haven't already, hit that like, hit that sub, hit that notification, that bell. Stay in tune with the content so we can keep talking about all the things we love. But I'm out of here. Until next time, P4L.